Hey everybody, what's up? Happy Monday, September 27th. We're going to go over some EBB Quest app refresh training. One of the big changes last week, of course, is that Boost is no longer going to allow the boostmobile.com site to be used when it comes to EBB. So it's a big change in a lot of our lives. This is the way that's been trained. It was authorized from Boost, and then, the reins have been pulled back on that. It is no longer allowed to be done on the boostmobile.com site. Step one, you guys can still do via NatVer, but step two has to now be done on the tablet. So I have a video here. I'm going to play. I have a deck as well, but I want to go over the video that kind of gives you some hands-on usage of what you're actually going to see when you're doing a tablet for these applications. So that you are very familiar with it. If you have any questions, you can stop me anytime. I can pause the video. And then I have a deck to cover after that as well. But we'll get you in and out of here under the 30 minutes. It was very, very great stuff. We'll make sure you guys see some hands-on usage of the app. So it's not just a simple deck, but you can see how it's going to look when you guys are in your stores. All right, so let me make sure. Can you guys see my screen okay? You should see the Quest app pulled up on my device, on my tablet.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What you're going to want to do is go to select your current store. Here I have all of.
So just for context, right? This is the very start. When you first go into your Quest app at a multi-dealer location, you're going to select your store. This is where we're picking up in this video. All right.
The stores that fall under my territory. So you'll just pick your specific one, and then you'll put in the zip code for the customer and hit next. But before I go and do this, I want to show you, because this is another feature that you guys are going to probably be using a lot. If you go up here to the top left and you see these three lines here in the circle, if you hit that and you go to search, if you need to look up a customer to see if they were qualified or if they did it somewhere else, you can put in their enrollment number, their last four, and you can search it. Or you can go to their application, applicant's information info page, and then you can put in their information and search, and then it'll pull up their enrollment ID and their application. So that's just a quick and easy.
And so just to pause it here real quick, right? So this is big. This is one of the things that the app does that we couldn't do when we were using the boostmobile.com. You couldn't go a lot of times and find the customer's account or see their status or even reset a password. So this can all be done now via Quest. You can search by enrollment ID, or if they don't know it, they can come here to your Quest app. And a lot of times customers come in, maybe they've gotten approved at a different door. This is where you could put their re-enter their information in.
Easy way where you can go in and find it if you don't have that information in front of you. So I'll go back and I'll go to home and I'll go back to the main screen here. If my Wi-Fi wants to cooperate with me.
While we're waiting for this to load, you guys can test this all in your own stores as well. She's just entering her own information in here.
Hey, Sochi, this is Jim. Well, that's loaded. Just a quick question. So we will still have to process the customer through the NAT verifier previously in this step, correct?
Yep, yeah, and you can do that on the computer. So like everything, do that step first, and then once you get that approval, then you can pull up the tablet or your iPad or Android or whatever you're using, and then pull up the Quest app and then start that process. So then you just hit accept. Also, you need to make sure that your location services are on as well, otherwise it won't work. So just for the sake of this, I'll just choose the first door that I have up here. I'll put my zip code in. I'm just going to do a mock one and see how far I can go. So by taking a picture of the driver's license, again, this is going to just add that level of security measures for not only you guys, but the customer. So you're going to want to take a picture.
Let me stop this right here again. So this is an optional step. So the taking a picture of your driver's license, what this is going to do is this will load all the customer's information. It kind of reads it and will autofill it. But a lot of our dealers, for time savings, they're already going to have that driver's license in hand. You can hit skip here, and the only difference is you'll then have to manually enter the information that is on the driver's license.
Of the customer's photo ID, the front and the back. I'm going to skip it for now because I don't have an ID that I can show you. But then what you're going to want to do is, as you can see here, you can see my kitchen ceiling, but it's going to ask you for your case. So it's going to be your login. So make sure that you put your nice pretty mug on there. So I'm going to put in my information, and again, it has.
One of the differences here, right, is it does take a picture of the rep, whoever is entering it. One of the things that the Quest app does is make sure we verify our information. So this is going to be the seller's picture. If you're the salesperson, this is going to be where you're entering your picture.
To match exactly how you're putting it in Nat Verifier. Social. Okay. I don't see here. It has your National Verifier Application ID. I think this was a question that came up earlier this week, if it was going to be on there, and it is. So you put that on there. It'll be that verifier. Letter B. You put that in there. I don't have one. And you put the street number in there, the customer's address. Okay. It's Illinois. And then you won't put the tribal lands, you put the home address, you put the customer's email address. Again, it's same thing as it is on the Boost mobile website. Same rules apply. It still has to match exactly how you enter it in NatVer. Again, since I don't have I didn't do a NatVer application. I'm going to see how far it'll take us. I'm not going to get like a true qualification here. And then by providing your contact information, you're just going to check mark that box and then hit next. Let's see what it didn't like. Oh, it didn't like my address. Okay, let's see. All right. Again, just like the Boost mobile website, you'll pick whatever program that they're part of. This is business as usual. I'll just put here Medicaid. Next, who is eligible, the subscriber. And then you choose the service. Either I'm doing the phone plan or the hotspot. Choose the hotspot. And you hit continue. If it's a current Boost customer buying a new EBB mobile device, hotspot device, you put in the existing customer. If I'm not a current Boost customer, you hit select output not Boost customer. You're delivering the device on site because you're activating it there and giving them a new one. So you click that and hit next. And then the following screen must be completed by the applicant. Okay, so then this is where you hit accept. And you give the tablet to the customer and have them fill out. Basically, they're acknowledging, just like you would on the Boost mobile website with all those check marks you acknowledge. It's going to ask them to take a picture of them. It's going to have them use their face. Again, it's a level of security measures put in place to protect the customer. I agree and e-sign. And then you confirm signature and continue. And then the customer will give the device back to you. And then get the customer's documentation ready. You'll be taking photos of these documents. So here it's photo ID document because I skipped that portion in the beginning. So if you skip it in the beginning, it's still going to ask you for it at the end. And then right here, I'll just put no proof available now. Submit. And then you're good to go. See, now I will always continue to be in pending status because there's going to be some documentation missing, which is my photo ID. So pretty much it's the same thing. See here where it says reject application now. This is something that you guys wouldn't have had access to if you had done the application in on the Boost mobile website. So if something is wrong, you misspell a name, you put in the date of birth wrong, you can manually go in and reject it yourself. So you don't have to call me anymore. You don't have to wait for me to send off an email and get back to you. This is going to make it a lot easier. It's going to make your life a lot easier and quicker for the customer. And then it'll tell you what's required or what's missing. So here my documentation is, my photo ID is missing, so you want to upload your document. If it was approved, it would say, you know, approved or qualified. It would give the customer's PIN number or promo code validation number. The one thing that you need to make sure that you do, and write it down, keep it in your memory bank. Once you have the customers, whether it's their phone activated or their hotspot, and on sales portal at the very end where it gives you the customer's phone number, especially if it's a new phone number, you need to capture that phone number. And in that same box, I think it's like on the top left, it's going to have a sales portal enrollment ID. You're going to want to capture that enrollment ID and enter both of those pieces of information in this app and confirm the activation. You have
the ID number is right under the phone number that they give you.
Okay, is that where it's at? I know it's like somewhere in that like vicinity. So you're going to need to capture those two pieces of information and go back to the Quest app and close it out and confirm the activation. This is what happens when you don't do this process, and it's a bad experience for the customer. It's a headache for you guys, because what will happen is if the customer's phone and everything will be active and it'll be working, but after their 30-day period, when it comes to their month 2 payment, they're going to show non-payment, because it's going the government and us, we're going to go on the back end and we're going to run a report, and we're going to see that actual activation wasn't confirmed or completed on the Quest app, and it's going to not put them on the appropriate plan, or it's not going to get them the payout of the EBB benefits. So it's going to stop their service. So they're going to come in and say, hey, my hotspot.
All right, so we will pause it there. So very good stuff, guys, right? Basically what they're saying there is when you get the number, it's very important that you guys go in there and you enter those details to make sure that those customers stay qualified and their benefits do not get shut off early. All right, can you guys still see my screen right now?
Yes, Adam.
Okay, so if you guys don't have the Quest app, right, there's the 2 links. There's your Android link or your iOS link. So the links are on the presentation. I'll send this out to all your DCI account managers. They can forward you a copy of this deck as well. The one thing, if you're downloading on iOS, do not download the newest iOS 15 update, or the Quest app will not work. They're working on getting a fix in place for that. But as of today, September 27th, 2021, iOS 15 will not work with the Quest app. So do not update the software on those tablets. Again, we talked about NatVer as step 1. Business as usual. Check lifeline.org/lifeline. That's where you're gonna start each and every process, and you're gonna get that NatVer ID. And then a lot of this in this deck, I'll go over pretty briefly because we just saw it live in action. Now, one big thing, if you guys have not been using Quest and you could try to go log in there today for the first time, if you've not used Quest in the last 30 days, you will have to reset your password. So when you put your username in, there's a reset password button. If you don't know your username, either your dealer principal should be able to pull that up for you, or your Boost Mobile account executive can pull that up for you. But once you get your username, if you haven't been in there in 30 days, you will have to reset your password. Once you go into Quest, you basically accept kind of their integrity pledge, which is basically saying we're doing business the right way, everything's verified. This is one of the big things that Quest was there for, right? Where you're getting free phone service or free internet for 6 months to a year. They want to make sure that these customers are legit, and you guys have all taken your training in order to enroll your customers. So you determine their availability. We already went through that, kind of just putting their zip code in, making sure that they have coverage, entering their information, and again, it will take your picture. If you're looking at the presentation online, you see the picture of SpongeBob. For the employee who is entering customer's information, it will snap a picture of your face while you are entering in the customer's information. Make sure you are a verified representative who is registered to sell the emergency broadband program. Any field that has an exclamation point, it's mandatory. The last 4, the social, is by far the best way to run EBB, just like we used to on the Boost site. You want to do the same practices here. And a lot of this is very similar, right? The only thing that's really different is the couple of pictures, but it's going to be your same information, the same stuff, and you get a couple extra benefits. As that video Sochi mentioned, you can cancel applications. This was a big thing in the past that we couldn't do. If there was a street address wrong or something wasn't capitalized or didn't put, you misspelled a name, you would have to go through a Bootstrap and have that account canceled out via email. It was a big time-consuming method. Now you can do this right from the Quest app. So you basically just fill in the needed information as requested. It's going to ask for all of your customers' personal information, first, last name, date of birth, last four of their social, all that good stuff. And then when it comes to mailing and shipping information, just make sure the address is correct. Now, anytime you see on the Quest app the little symbol of a hand and an arrow, that's basically saying, hey, pass this over to your customer. So you pass over to your customer so your customer can check the boxes and verify. I know on the boostmobile.com site, we would just click all these boxes for the customer. But now that we have it on a tablet, it's easy to do. You want to pass it and make sure that the customer is the one checking all the boxes, verifying their information is correct. So every time you see that on screen, it's kind of the key for you to give it to the customer to check their boxes, enter their initials, whatever the case may be. So they're going to qualify same way they always did, right? Same categories. The main ones are going to be SNAP, Medicaid, or if they're low income. Customers, you know, low income works a lot. Sometimes customers don't have SNAP or Medicaid. A big qualifying question I always ask is, well, were you impacted by COVID last year? Did you happen to make less than $20,000 on your W-2s? If so, you could still qualify under the income portion. And a lot of customers do qualify, even if they're not on SNAP or Medicaid. So you're going to enter the customer's information. It's usually going to be for the subscriber, but there is an option there. If your child or dependent has SNAP or Medicaid, you can qualify that method as well. Majority of times when the person sign up on your store has that SNAP or has that Medicaid, you will fill in the applicant's eligibility as you normally would. Exact same as the Boost site. You select their plan. Now, if you're looking on the screen, there's a little bit of a error in this slide. It shows $0 40 gigabyte broadband plan. No, that's not what it is. It's 35 gigs, the same as it's always been. So either the $0 40 gigabyte plan or the $0 $50 rate plan with 35 gigs for the phone. And when I'm saying $50 is both of these have a value of $50 if it were a new customer. A new customer walking in your door who wants a hotspot, 35 gigs would cost them $50 a month. So if you're saying they're getting 6 months to a year of savings, that's a $600 value they're getting for free. They pay nothing. On the phone, we now have the A12. Now the A12, $25 for EBB customers. $25 setup fee, so you're at $50 plus tax. That customer's out your door under $60. They have service 6 months to a year, unlimited talk, text, data, 12 gigs of hotspot, 35 gigs of high speed. So those smartphones really should be flying off your shelves. Currently, there's no limit on those, so you might want to order up before numbers start booming and maybe allocation isn't as great. But right now, I'm telling you, there's no limits on them. I had doors order 30 for every door last week because they're absolutely going to crush this promotion. After selecting the plan, whether it's the hotspot or the device, you're just going to continue to the next screen to review the enrollment information. Again, you'll see the big icon of pass the tablet over to your customer. They're going to read and sign below, so they're going to click all the boxes, and then click agree and sign. Once they do that, you're going to get your application number. And since you did NatVer first, so that very first step that you entered your NatVer in, you're going to get your PIN code right there. All right, so it's going to be quick and easy. It's not nearly as bad as people may thought. They're like, oh, this is going to take so long. It's not. It's pretty quick and painless. If you do one or two of these, and we'll try to do them when we're in store with you, you'll see this way is still very, very fast. It's not an inconvenience. If anything, it's more convenient because when you run into trouble, you can fix it yourself. You don't have to go through these bootstraps or you have to go through second or third tiers to get stuff taken care of. You can get it all done right there in store. So again, the best practices, making sure you have attention to detail with every submission. Everything has to be very accurate. That's why I always ask for the driver's license at the start of this process. Can I get your driver's license? Because I want to enter everything in. I'm going to get the picture of it. At the beginning I said you could skip that step, but it sounds like from the end of the training on Sochi's video that we had there, they're going to need that eventually anyway. So might as well get it, right? Get the picture of it. It's going to autofill your fields, and you're going to make sure that you have everything accurate to their ID. Now, one qualifying question, you do want to make sure their SNAP or Medicaid address matches what's on their driver's license. If they have a different address for their SNAP or Medicaid than what's on their driver's license, it will not match. The address you want to put in the system is what they are getting their benefits to. All right. After the app's submitted, the customer can check their email. They should verify they received it. This is also a very important point. You need to use a real email. I have stores that ran into problems because they put a fake email in there, and it's like, oh, now we need to reset a password. Well, we didn't use a real email, right? Kind of like a dough moment, right? Make sure you use the real information. If you have accurate info, there's a great chance the application is going to be approved in a few minutes or less, and it will be business as usual. So you'll see which customers are enrolled, which ones are in pending status, which ones are rejected. You can see all of that in your app. And then once you get your number, again, you go to the sales portal and activate as you normally would. So again, processes is ensure the customer info matches what you submitted in the application. Have the rep access the promo pin provided from the application or customer can provide from their email. Most important sales portal step is to ensure the rep remembers to enter the promo code to unlock the $0 EBB plan. Again, I think we have that here on this slide. So this is where, for some people that are new, and it gets to your select a price plan step. You got to click on promo code in the top right. So if you're looking at my screen here, it's this bottom middle picture. It'll show, say you're doing a hotspot. It'll show the $50 hotspot. Once you click on the promo code and you hit apply, it'll go from $50 down to $0. You want to make sure you are entering the plan that gives you a $0 code. If you go in there and you skip that step, Boost is going to charge that customer $50 for service on that device. So very important we don't skip that step. All right, and then we covered that. The account details. So once the activation is done, this is a big key, right? To make sure that the hotspot stays on and continues. So in the old days, we told you had to go back to the Boost site, enter the number in, click the 2 boxes saying this has been activated, and the customer would be good to go. So now you need a confirmation ID and the phone number. So once this customer is activated, you can see here circled in blue, you will have your Boost account details. You need to go back to your Quest app, enter the customer's phone number, and then also enter the confirmation number and submit those into Quest so they know that it has been fully activated. And this will ensure that the customer will not get turned off in month 2. If you get a customer that comes in, I signed up last month, they come in month 2, I don't have service, this is going to be the reason why. You forgot to go into your app or whatever store they activated at, forgot to go back into the app and enter their account details. Some more best practices. Make sure the customer has a valid email. If they have or SNAP a Medicaid card, ask if they can see it to you along with their driver's license. If the customer doesn't see the email regarding their submission, have them check their spam folder. There have been a couple times that they've ended up there during the trial. If the team manager or agent both submit an application at this time, whatever the RSP user submits the application will be the user who can later pull it up for the customer. So I don't think that's going to be a big one for you guys. All right, so I mean, it's pretty quick, it's pretty easy. It's just going back to tablets, and if you sold them, go buy them today because this is going to be crucial in activating these using Forward. The note from Boost last week came out, I think on the 22nd, said stop using it immediately. Dealers who continue to use the boostmobile.com site for EBBs risk commissions being withheld as of the 24th. That was last Friday. So if you're using it now, you do have the risk of the Boost saying, hey, we warned you, you're not going to get paid commissions on it. So stop that behavior immediately. Make sure you guys are using the Quest app. And from what I heard too, that Boost site is going to be removed and taken down in the near future. So it'll help eliminate that error. But I want to make sure you guys are not using that and are using Quest moving forward. All right, we'll open up. Are there any questions? And if you're muted, you might have to hit *6 to unmute. All right, if no questions, I'll give you guys 5 minutes back in your day. Thank you so much for hopping on. Let's go out and continue crushing this EBB. This should not be a roadblock to us at all. Make sure you're prepared, and let's keep those sales strong. I know we've been kicking butt so far. Let's keep that momentum going for the rest of the month. And reminder, this Friday is an SSI day, so make sure you guys have plenty of inventory as your government paychecks will be coming in. The first is on Friday. Order appropriately so you have tons of inventory. And again, if you heard that, A12, Samsung A12, $25 on EBBs. Make sure you guys have tons of those in inventory and are pushing that option for your customers as well. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.